Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to be going over the best unique upgrades for World of Warships for 2025. Now, there's over 33 unique upgrades from all the tech trees, plus the Moss and the Kaba that are coal ships. So, let's get started on that. So, this current tier list has 4 tiers. It has must-haves, must-have but changes playstyle, situational, and nerfing yourself. And me and SatScore will be going over this, and we'll have timestamps in the description and the pinned messages. In the pinned comments, so you guys can go to whatever ship you're interested in. So, let's get started. So, the Vermont. Would you say it's a must-have? I think it's a must-have for the Vermont. What do you think?
Same here.
And is there any particular reason why? I know it gives it a better reload, right?
Yes, it gives you better reload, but you do lose concealment because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have basically you're shooting from a little bit further out most of the time, but you do get to shoot a little bit faster. So you can sometimes catch those cruisers or broadside ships, thinking that they have enough time before your second salvo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that can really throw them off because we all know how long the reload is on a Vermont. So, yep.
Yep. Also, you do get more AA, and you can throw out more ASW as well. It's a minor
Ooh.
bonus, but it is something.
It is also really nice. So, yep, I highly recommend the Vermont. Of course, we have the Colombo. Yeah, definitely a must-have. If there's a way to have
Uh-huh.
another tier just for Colombo, it would be on there. But
Yes.
highly recommend the Colombo. It gives it a better dispersion. It gives it a better reload. It makes this thing from like a shotgun to a sniper with the sap. It's one of the most broken, unique upgrades in the game. Hopefully they nerf it soon, but as of now, they haven't really said anything about that. But yeah, it's absurdly broken.
hmm No, needs no introduction. What if you have a choice between taking a Colombo unique upgrade or selling your firstborn? Take the unique upgrade.
Yep, of course. So moving on, that is going to be the Elbing. I think it's a must-have, but it makes it from like a long-range shooter. It turns into more a versatile role. So I think the Elbings is a must-have. What do you think?
It goes in the changes playstyle must have.
Okay.
The speed boost lets it open water a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You're less reliant on smoke, and then you can use your ballistics to great advantage.
Yep. It also changes the turret traverse to where it's actually good. So you don't have to sit there and wait a million years for your turrets to traverse. So love that as well.
The only issue is that because it takes up the fifth slot, I believe. No, it goes in slot 6. You do lose some reload time, but the extra speed boost, extra survivability is generally worth it.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on, there is going to be the Petro. I would say it's a must-have. You do lose one consumable, though. So you lose like one heal and one Hydra and one radar and such. But that accuracy is so good. And it makes it such an accurate sniper of a cruiser. And this thing already has insane and penetration capabilities on battleships, cruisers, and you name it. So the fact you make that even more accurate, it has to be a must-have. It's just insane.
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit on the lower end of must-haves because those -1 consumables hurt. It does hurt in the long run,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still very strong because of that insane accuracy boost. So would definitely take.
Yep, 100%. Moving on from there is the Gouden Leeuw. Must have. Like, it
Yep,
legit
must
turns
have.
this thing from an average ship to a god tier ship. And that makes it, and because what it does is it makes it where you have a faster reload for your airstrikes, and you get an extra one, so it goes from 2 to 3. And then, if you have Conrad, the legendary commander, it goes from 3 to 4. So, because before when you only had 2, it makes it where if you do one drop, and if you miss it, and you then hit your second, you're not able to get another one to then get a fire right away, right? But with 3, it makes it where you have a spare one essentially. So if you miss one, and then you hit the second one and they DCP, then you can do the third one that'll have a perma fire. And that right there is what makes it from like an average ship to a god tier ship. And that's why I put it in the must-haves. Also, I'm
You get
biased, and I love it.
you play Golden Leeuw for the bombs. You get 50% more bombs. Or no, you get another airstrike. You get more bombs. So why not?
Exactly. All right, moving on from there is the Richthofen. Do you...
More
I...
situational.
Situational. You want to explain why? I don't really play the CV, so I'm not sure.
So Richthofen goes, the unique upgrade goes into slot 6, and it
Mm-hmm.
basically just buffs the torpedo bombers. You get more torp damage, the arming distance is lower, so it's easier to hit, and your torpedo bomber HP goes up. Which is, I mean, it's not bad, but the thing is, Richthofen's torpedo bombers are actually the weaker points,
Mm-hmm.
and the upgrades is basically trying to make it, try to bring it up to par with the rest of the squads.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is you're losing out on speed or HP for all squads, so yeah, not really what I would take Richthofen for. Like, it's not a bad mod since torpedoes are still pretty useful, but it's not something I would really recommend most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on from there is going to be the Holland. Where would you say you would put the Holland? I would say it changes the play style. It changes it from more of like a torpedo boat to more of like a gunboat, kind of like a mini Smalland. It does
Yeah.
give it a what does the Holland do again for this unique upgrade? I forgot.
So Holland, it goes into slot 6. So you get one extra consumable.
Mm-hmm.
You get your maximum speed with the engine boost goes up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get more HP per repair party.
Oh yeah,
Usage.
that definitely makes it way better of a gunboat, 1000%.
The
Okay.
problem is a lot of the Holland's base gunboating ability is still not very good. It just makes it a lot more survivable. I would put it in situational.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a must-have. It doesn't change. It doesn't change the playstyle all that much, honestly. And like the buffs is just to make it a bit better at surviving gunboat fights. But even then, it's still not really that great. It's not awful, but
Mhm.
I don't think it's really good.
Okay. So the next one is the Vens. This one makes it where it has more smoke consumables and there's a longer action time for the smokes. So would you say this is a situational for more playstyles, or would you say it's a must-have but changes the playstyle?
Must-have changes playstyle.
Okay.
So then with the so specifically the it definitely it's a huge change. Hold on, let me bring up the Venezia. So what it does is it gives you 2 extra smoke consumables
Mm-hmm.
and also reduces the cooldown between smoke screens by about 50%. This replaces your concealment expert though, or consumable modules. But the reason why it goes into changes playstyle is that you can make a lighthouse build with the Ledge Mod Venezia.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is that you basically have extra smokes. You have about like 5 or 6, and then you basically play it lighthouse. So top grade gunner only cares if enemy ships are within your detection range. It does not care if you're actually spotted. So if you play your Venezia close, you can get the full benefits of top grade gunner, and if you're threatened, you smoke up and keep shooting.
Yeah, I like that one a
So-
lot. All right.
Yep, pretty good for damage farming. It's but it falls under changes playstyle. So kind of if you like the lighthouse build, definitely give it a try.
All right. Next one is going to be Audacious. Is that one the nerfing stuff one? That's like... ugh.
That's like borderline nerfing, cause I don't remember if they've ever fixed the some of the squadron power.
Mhm.
But I would put it in just situational. It's a very different playstyle change. What it does, it reduces your ship's detection range, it reduces rudder shift time, and increases your engine power.
Mhm.
The whole point of it is that you get close to the fight and then you spam out planes at a closer range. You trade this for extra planes, really.
Hmm.
So it's kind of an interesting change. I put it as situational because it's I mean, it's powerful when used correctly, but it's also very difficult to use just because everyone likes to shoot the carrier first, and this one forces you to get closer to really justify using it.
Okay. Moving on from there, the daring. I say this is nerfing yourself. I've never, I don't think I've ever seen anyone recommend this one.
I've seen a few recommended, and that's only for like damage farming builds.
Hmm.
I would say it's in situational, but on the low end. So, what it does is that it goes in a slot 5. So you're replacing concealment module.
Hmm.
You do have -5% detection, as opposed to the -10 standard, but your torpedoes get a significant buff, plus 15% damage and -20% reload.
Hmm.
The issue is, though, you basically go from cap contesting to mostly damage farming. And the damage farming part is still questionable because your torps, the main issue with your torps is actually the range, not the damage or the reload.
Yeah, the range on daring is 10 kilometers, which is extremely short for tier 10. So,
Yeah, it's uncomfortable for tier 10. A lot of, if, for example, a 12-kilometer radar or carrier is kind of camping you, then yeah, you can't really get any good use out of it.
mhm. All right.
So I would only recommend if you're going for pure damage farming.
Yep. So the next one's going to be the Hakuryu Legendary mod. Would you recommend this one?
Must have.
All right.
And that is, yeah. So the Hakuryu ledge mod here, what it does is that increases your squad speed by 12.5, and it but it does reduce the duration, but the speed boost by 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, allows you to burst in through flak through a little bit faster, get to your attacks off, and then run away faster. So very good when used correctly.
Yeah, that's definitely very useful. Moving on from that one's going to be the Harugumo. This one makes it where it makes it more smokes and a more action time, correct? For the Harugumo?
Yes, you get an extra smoke, and then you have more action time in that smoke. You essentially just turned it into a US smoke.
So is it just going to be must have but changes play style? Or is it just.
Yep, that's
All right,
correct.
cool. Okay.
The reason it goes into change playstyle is that the smokes behave a little bit differently. And you do want to change your captain build a little bit. You don't want to take SI because you don't need all that smoke. And you have to be careful because your concealment, it goes into slot 5, so you don't get that extra concealment. And you don't really want to fight other gunboats. You're there to mostly farm, and hopefully bring a friend along to farm too. It's a popular choice to take in King of the Seas because it has essentially US smokes, but
Yep.
with light cruiser firepower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really strong in the King of Seas for sure. For sure, I've been seeing a lot of those recently. Moving on from that is going to be the Kleber. Is that going to be must-haves but changes playstyle?
I would say in situational, funny enough.
Mm.
This is only because, so the Harugumo ledge mod, unique upgrade, it still works pretty well in randoms. Kleber unique upgrade is solely for clan battles or King of the Seas,
Mm-hmm.
which honestly belongs in situational because I think most of your viewers are more to stick with randoms or
Yeah.
PvE content.
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, it completely changes the playstyle. It turns it into a very fast scouting ship with 8-kilometer, essentially F3 torpedoes. Unfortunately, that's a pretty big nerf in randoms. So I would not recommend it. I would not recommend for randoms unless you just want a very funny playstyle. But
Mhm.
if you're playing in competitive, like clan battles or King of the Seas, then it's actually a must-have.
All right, thank you so much for that. Moving on is the Kremlin. This one reduces the range and gives it a better reload, correct? For the Kremlin.
Yes. Yep.
And would you say that's a must-have, changes playstyle, or?
So what it does, it decreases reload time by 18%. While reducing fire range by 12%.
Mm-hmm.
For reference, the slot 6 upgrade that reduces reload time is -12,
Mm-hmm.
12%. So you're getting you're getting slightly faster reload time, but you're losing 12% range.
Hmm.
I would put it in situational because of that.
Okay. Yeah, because it is a lot of range loss.
On a Kremlin, you go from like 20 to something like 18 or 19. Yeah, it's a pretty notable range nerf, and you're not actually getting that much reload benefit. It's like 6%. That's not much in the grand scheme of things.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you like Kremlin and you're playing a lot of like ranked where you're constantly fighting at close range anyways, then yeah, go ahead, take it. It's actually an upgrade. But for randoms purposes, I would say it's more situational because you're not really getting that much benefit overall.
Okay. Moving on from there is the Midway. What would you say about the Midway?
Situational.
Situational. Okay.
Yep. So Midway's upgrade is basically just buffs the bombers. Not it does not buff the attack plane. So increase the bomber speed by 5% and increases the HE bombs by 10%. So basically, you get nuclear HE dive bombers.
Oh boy.
To be fair, oh yeah. To be fair, it is like the it is the core part of Midway's kit. But at the same time, the standard HE dive bombers, it still hits very hard. And the either getting the HP to make your planes more survivable or speed to make them go a little bit faster, I think that overall is still a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. All right. Moving on.
Still, if you want to nuke destroyers, it is not a bad upgrade.
Yeah. So I've fought Midways that have those bombs, and ouch, they hit
They hurt.
really hard. Yeah, they hit really hard. Moving on is going to be the Grozovoi. This one makes the reload faster, correct? It turns into more of a gunboat.
It makes it from a universal destroyer to gunboat heavy.
Mm-hmm. So that would you say it's more situational or must-have? Changes play style.
Must have. It would be must have and definitely changes play style.
Okay, so this one. Okay.
So the reason is Grozovoi has pretty solid guns. The torpedoes are okay, but it's more just of a afterthought than an actual like focus. This one just goes all in with the guns, gives it minus 18% reload time, which is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Torpedo reload time does go up by 20%, but honestly, main guns are just a lot more reliable. Torpedo tubes, you throw it out every now and then, but it's not a core part of Grozovoi's kit. So you're fine with the much faster reload time.
Okay. Moving on from the Grozovoi to doing the YY. This one changes the YY into more of a gunboat, correct?
This one is more for if you are into radar YY.
Okay.
So it increases the radar time by 20%, makes your main guns reload much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, sorry. So it goes in a slot 5. It does lean you more towards guns. It improves your smoke dispersion time and your radar duration. So yeah, this one's more situational. This one you're mostly taking it if you play the radar, because with the buff to the guns and to radar duration, you're there to kill destroyers.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I put it in situational is because if you take it, you can't really switch back to smoke YY, like the standard smoke spotting YY, which you get 5.8, 5.9 concealment, and smoke to just run away. If you want to demount the mod, you have to pay doubloons or sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one are good options.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
And then finally, for radar destroyers, Smolensk and Gdansk are kind of better at the killing other destroyers part.
Yep. Oh boy. All right, moving on from there is the gearing. So the legendary gearing. That has to be a must-have, right? That is really
Funny
good.
enough, if we're only going by randoms, I would actually put in situational.
We got a lot of situationals.
Well, the other issue is if you want to move like 5 of those up to must-haves, then we can. The reason why I put gearing in situational is because better concealment is nice, but you're losing a pretty notable chunk of your firepower.
Yeah, that is painful.
Yeah, that's not something you want to do in randoms or ranked where teammates are unreliable and you have to do a lot of the heavy lifting yourself. And shooting yourself in the foot by nerfing your guns is not a great way to do that.
Yeah, no, that is not.
However, in King of the Seas, go ahead. Yeah, you were there just for the smoke. So go ahead and buff it and then just outspot the other team.
All right.
The thing is, if you want to put it in must-haves, then King of the Seas and clan battles would have to be a consideration. But I'm assuming that most people here do not participate in competitive, so I'm basing it solely on ranked and randoms.
All right, that's a good analysis. Moving on is the Shima. So this one's going to be increasing the torp reload. That's going to be a must-have, correct?
Yep, must-have.
Yeah, it just gives it a flat, big reload buff. It does make your turret traverse slower for the torpedoes, but that doesn't really affect that much of the playstyle. It just makes your reloads faster for the torps.
Yeah, you're getting an extra 10% reload buff. The slower turret traverse is not really much of a handicap. The only issue I would see is if you like the 8-kilometer Shimakaze gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
if you like
otherwise,
that, then yeah, it would definitely hurt you for taking the legendary.
yeah, that's the only time I would not recommend legendary. But for most Shima players that play 12s, then take the ledge mod. It's a straight up upgrade.
All right, so moving on from there is going to be the Z52. I don't even know what this one. I barely hear this one at all. This is an.
This one is similar to Daring, funny enough. I would put it into nerfing yourself.
Oof.
So Z52, it goes in slot 5. You're also nerfing you get -5 detection, so your overall concealment goes up. But your torpedoes get buffed as a result. You get +5 to torp speed, -15% to reload time, and your torpedoes are harder to detect.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is Z52, her entire kit is kind of about using Hydra and smoke to bully out other destroyers for the cap. With that detection, you've kind of made it much harder to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it into torpedoes, which is not really a great part of Z52's kit.
Yeah, it's not. So yeah, definitely nerfing yourself. What about the Kaba? I think this is a must-have, right? This increases your gun range. It's one of the only modules to actually increase your gun range, which you desperately need on a Kaba.
Yep, I would put it on that must-have.
Yeah, it needs it 100%.
Just as a side note, if you take that, you're technically more favored to take Smoke Cob, just because the shorter consumable duration doesn't affect smoke too much.
Yeah, it's actually true, because again, the action time, it doesn't really matter with smoke. It affects the heal though.
Yeah, it's okay with the heal, but you will feel like the less heal coming out. You will feel that you have less heal if you're more aggressive. You're a Khabarovsk.
All right, moving on from there is going to be the Mosvka. This thing,
Yep,
oh god, it just must have. It makes it into one of the most
Absolutely.
accurate cruisers in the game. Whew, yeah, it is. It's god tier. Love it. I have it on my Mosvka. Love it. Must have. 100%.
Highly recommended. You have laser gun. You have railgun shells. Now you have laser accuracy railgun shells, and you can hit targets a little bit farther as well. So yeah, really, really good.
Moving from there is the Worcester. Is it just nerfing yourself?
You nerfed yourself.
Yeah. Just, ugh. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. I really don't.
Worcester, yeah. The problem with Worcester is that most of her... So what she does is it goes into slot 6. You get extra consumables, and your reload time for consumables goes down by 20%. You also get some AA as well. But the problem is a lot of what you can do is already done by a superintendent. aka a 3-point skill.
Yep.
And the improved reload time is honestly not really that great to justify taking it. It's 20%, yes. So you get, but the problem is you have 9 kilometers radar, so it's kind of hard to use it on cooldown. And if you have to use Hydro and heal off of cooldown, I think you have bigger problems.
Yep, highly agree with that one. Moving on is the Des Moines. This thing pretty much makes it makes the Des Moines from like an average acceleration to a god tier acceleration, being able to reverse, go forward just extremely quickly. So I would have it into the must have but changes playstyle section. What do you think?
Agreed. Imagine slapping on like 3 prop mods and a rudder mod just for the giggles. That is what you did to that's Legmod Des Moines. And yes, it's the amount of dodging shenanigans you can do is great. You do have to get some practice though, because it is not very forgiving. If you, for example, play the island hugging playstyle and you accidentally accelerate past a rock, oops.
Yeah,
I've
you
done
have
it a
to.
few
You literally have to
times.
like flick the throttle if you do it. If you do it for a second too long, you just fly past the rock. You're like, oh crap, and you just get death struck.
Yep. So, very powerful when used correctly, but if you're not used to it, you can actually get yourself death struck.
All right, so Minotaur. This one makes it where it becomes more like a really long crawling. It's like a really long action time smoke. It's like before they added crawling smokes into the game, but it's not a crawling smoke. But I think it's a
It's
must-have, but changes play style. Because you can play the
um,
radar, but this is like more of advanced smoke play style.
yeah, this one goes more into smoke playstyle. You're essentially half crawling smoke and half standard smoke.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad though, but it's not something I would highly recommend most of the time. If you like the smoke Minotaur, definitely go get it though.
So situational then.
I put situational. The other issue is that it takes the 3rd slot, which is coincidentally where your aiming systems
That's
go.
true.
Yeah, it is. While it is a cruiser, you still want most of your shells to hit, and losing aiming system mod for a smoke mod is not really great.
Mm-hmm.
And it also kind of locks you into taking smoke, or otherwise, why take the upgrade in the first place? So no Minotaur for you.
All right, moving on from there is the Henry. Isn't this Isn't the one this does the lighthouse build, correct?
The original, the OG lighthouse build. Yep.
So must have, but changes playstyle.
Yep.
All right, so moving on.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, you can talk about for a moment. My bad.
Yeah. Henri unique upgrade is the OG lighthouse build. You take no concealment, you take heavy HE, and then you just spam away until the enemy's dead. And you dodge.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. You basically, this is good practice for Conde, so I would definitely recommend it before making a very expensive purchase that is the Conde.
All right, moving on from there is going to be the Hindenburg. I know this one technically makes you more tanky, but what are your thoughts on this one?
Nerfing yourself.
Well, there you go then.
So yes, it technically makes you more tanky, but the way it does it is absolute trash. This, first of all, it goes into slot 5, so you sacrifice Concealment Expert for that, or even Rudder Shift. And what do you get in return? You get faster main battery repair time, you get faster Rudder Shift, you get faster fire extinguishing time, and faster flooding recovery time.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you are Hindenburg. You are a cruiser. So your 30-second fires doesn't matter all that much. And if you're taking flooding, you have bigger problems as a Hindenburg. The main battery repair time also doesn't matter much. So really that leaves rudder shift time as the only relevant part that you care about. And why not just take the steering gears mod 3 instead? It just gives you faster rudder shift.
Yep. You hit it right on the nail. So,
Yeah,
all right. So, the next
not
one's going
really.
to be Zhao. This one just makes it more accurate, right? So,
This one, Zhao buffs the accuracy. I think it only buffs accuracy now because they nerfed it before. They nerfed it a while back.
mhm.
Nope, it gives you extra range too. Minus 7% dispersion and 8%
I'm
range.
going to have this
They
must
took away,
have.
yeah, they took away the rudder shift though, which is the sad part.
I think it was needed because I think I remember that when it was around. Yeah. But yeah, it
So,
makes you to a
yeah.
very accurate and it gives you more range as well. Very useful with dealing with destroyers or just shooting anything in particular, but it's definitely a must have for the Zhao.
The main battery range, plus 8% makes it a bit more comfortable, and having more accuracy definitely helps a lot. So even though it got nerfed, we still recommend it.
Hmm.
No playstyle change, so it just goes in the
Exactly.
must-haves.
So the Montana. This one
Situ-
makes you more tanky, but yes, it's definitely situational.
The way it makes you tanky is a little bit better than how the Hindenburg does it.
Hmm.
So it also takes a slot 5, but it's actually surprisingly similar to Hindenburg. So so it has minus 30% to rudder shift time,
Hmm.
so pretty good. You get minus 70% to steering gears repair, which is whatever.
Okay.
But also you get minus 10% to fire extinguishing time and flooding time.
Hmm.
So you give up concealment for better survivability and faster rudder shift. And let me tell you, if you ever played Montana, those 22 second rudder shift time, it hurts.
It
It's
is
like
such a
basically
pain.
it's like trying to drive a semi truck without a steering wheel. It's that bad. So just having rudder shift time alone would justify taking it.
Hmm.
But the thing is, you do lose on concealment, so it's kind of it hurts. Like pick your poison.
I try builds with this one. It really depends. On some matches, it helps you a lot, but some matches, like essentially, if you are eating torpedoes at all, you're not healing any of that damage back. So it's kind of worthless in that regard, right? But if you're not taking torpedo damage, you're just taking fire damage or HE damage or some AP, it really shows its strength when you do that.
So the rudder shift helps with dodging, but the thing is, concealment is still pretty good on Montana. 14 kilometers base is pretty long considering that her ballistics aren't really the greatest. And if you go out to 16, then yeah, you're gonna have problems hitting your shells, even though you're tankier.
Hmm.
So for that reason, I put it in situational. I mean, if your aim is good or you know how to get closer, sorry, then yeah, it works pretty well. But uh, not one of the higher priority unique upgrades I would recommend.
Yep. Moving on from there is going to be the Yamato must have. Just flat out gun dispersion buff makes it way more accurate, but it does make the turrets slightly slower. So these things already
It,
move it as slow as a sloth. So
turn your turrets into glue.
you
But
might as
at
well just
least
turn
you
your
can,
ship at that point.
yeah, makes your shells more accurate, so it's worth it.
Hmm. Moving from there is going to be the Kurfurst. This makes the reload better for your guns and secondaries. Would you say this one's a must-have? I know that it affects the range, correct?
So it goes into slot 6. It reduces main battery firing range, but it does make it reload faster. Both your main guns and your secondary guns.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's fine. I would definitely recommend it. So, unlike the Repub, you do get a spotter. I'm pretty sure Kurfurst gets a spotter plane to
It does.
compensate whenever she needs that extra range.
Mm-hmm.
Repub doesn't, which is kind of unfortunate. And then you're buffing your guns, you're also buffing your secondaries. So it's kind of a win-win for most players, especially in PvE.
Oh yeah,
When your range doesn't
100%.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, PvE Kurfurst you don't care about range. You just go in, guns blazing, secondaries blazing, and you have fun. So for this, it's definitely must-have.
Yep.
Even for randoms, you have a spotter plane. You can just get a spotter plane mod if necessary to just keep it up if you need that extra range. So definitely a must-have.
Okay, so only 2 more left, and we're done for these. Republic, nerfing yourself.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
So-
poor thing.
So while the extra reload looks nice on paper, the cost of reducing your range by that much is a little bit too much. Repub doesn't have great armor, so she wants to play more at range. Also by losing that extra range, you also give up some of that vertical dispersion advantage, which is not really great on a ship that's not known for her accuracy. Basically, you just sacrifice a little bit too much for a minor increase in reload. So I just don't think it's worth it.
All right, so the final ship is going to be the Conqueror. What are your thoughts on the Conqueror's one?
Situational.
Yeah, doesn't this makes it, and this is the concealment slot, correct?
Yes, it goes into the concealment slot.
Yep, and it makes it where you have better maneuverability, and what else does it do?
So much faster rudder shift time, minus 40%. Faster steering gears repair time, which is 80%. That don't really care that much.
That does.
But you
That
do
never gets
get-
knocked out.
Yep, you do get worse main battery traverse speed. Not the worst. So essentially, you have a much more a much closer to cruiser kiting playstyle. You're still kind of a big ship though. The main advantage is that you're just dodging torpedoes more often. You just can't get as close, but the extra rudder shift lets you dodge shells a bit more often, and most importantly, torpedoes. So, if you tend to play Conqueror more at range, then yeah, it's perfectly fine. If you're playing Conqueror a little bit closer, or you just like that extra concealment, then it's not really a good upgrade for you. I put it in situational. It's not a must-have. But it's something nice you can try out if you just like a super turny kind of Conqueror playstyle.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, SATs. I do greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed our video on the unique upgrades tier list in 2025. But yep, thank you guys all again for watching. If you guys haven't already, definitely check out the YouTube membership, where for 99 cents you get a super container mission once a month. And that renews every month. So it supports me as well as supports you guys with super containers. So definitely check that out in the description of the video. But thank you guys all for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Deuces.